stop being lazy. Not bending my knees and stuff like that. Not using angle, not jabbing. Just being smart, you know, and things like that, you know. But yeah.
So what was the game plan coming into the fight?
Body work, stay behind that jab, like pressing him back a little bit more, you know, and things like that, cutting the ring off. But he wasn't really moving too much, so.
Now, I want to know what's the feeling being that you fighting at home. Your last fight, you had 14,000. This fight, Eddie Hearn, you said you had 11,000. How does that make you feel being as though your crowd decreased in a few months?
I mean, it decreased because of the opponent, the opposition, you know. Nobody really wanted to see this fight, you know. I took this fight because I wanted to, you know, stay busy, you know, and I ain't want to be sitting around for another year, you know. I ain't trying to be still and all that stuff and things like that. So, you know, I took this fight to stay busy, you know.
It was mandatory.
Yeah, and that's my mandatory. I had to fight him.
So,
I'm sorry, we're gonna move to the next one, so everybody gets a chance to.
We just have a few more guys because we've got to leave the building soon.
Hey, Eddie, Jay with Sportbox TV. Looping back around to Vergil Ortiz versus Boots, what do you think the fight looks like? How does it play out, and in what fashion does it end?
Listen, I think it's a great fight, and Boots knows he's got to be better than tonight against a fighter like Vergil Ortiz, but the training would be different, the mindset would be different, the challenge would be different, and that's where you're going to see the best of a great fighter like Boots. So, you know, I really respect Vergil Ortiz. I love Robert Garcia, Oscar De La Hoya's a plonker, and you know, we got to make sure, and I'll be saying to Boots, we can't afford to lose that fight. I can't lose to that fucker. No way. Boots, if you don't win that fight, I'll never talk to you again. Good.
We won't do that.
Good.
Like I said, the better the competition, the better I'm gonna be in all Vergil was going forward. Yeah, I know I love pressure fighting.
Listen, there's always a price, but I just want to watch him fight Vergil Ortiz. Obviously, there's a lot of conversation with His Excellency, and we'll be moving forward to potentially make that fight. Last question, guys.
Eddie, what's a plunker?
No, that was me.
I don't know the word in America, like just like, just what word would you guys know? Just a prick, really. Do you know what I mean? Listen, with all jokes aside, Oscar's like one of the greatest fighters of all time, so I'll give him respect. And I don't mind this clapback Thursday stuff. It's a bit weird, but he's a character, and he gets people talking. And him against me, not in the ring, but in a matchup with our fighters, there's so many great fights to make. Shakur against Zepeda's pretty much done. You know, Boots against Ortiz. Ramirez against Opataya. That's Zerdo. The other Ramirez against Catterall. Pacheco against, he said Munguia, but Munguia left him, so we can't do that. But there's loads of other fights out there to be made. I just want to make the best fights and the best cards. So, you know, jokes aside with Oscar, we can make a tremendous night for the sport, and that's what His Excellency wants to do. And I do believe you'll see these fights come together on February 22nd.
Eddie, just one really quick one. Keyshawn last night, that performance, him tank. What do you think about that fight?
I love Keyshawn. I think he's a great fighter. I think he's getting better and better and better. You can't take, when a fighter comes in 7 pound over or 6 or 5 pound over or whatever it was, it's not because they're struggling at the weight. It's because you know that everything's broken down in that fight. So I don't think it was the same Lemos that fought Richardson Hitchens, but I think that's irrelevant. He demolished him. And that's what you got to do sometimes. You got to go in there. The crowd looked great in Norfolk, Virginia. It's great for boxing. Keyshawn's a great young fighter, and in time, I think he'll be a great fight for Gervonta Davis. But he still lost 3 times to Andy Cruz, our fighter, and he'd never beat Andy Cruz. And Jaron Ennis can also confirm that, and Bozy can confirm that because he trains Andy Cruz. So I think if Keyshawn wants to fight before Gervonta Davis, sign us up for Andy Cruz. He took him to school 3 times, and he'd be ready to do it again. And on that,
4 times.
Last words for fans worldwide. Couple last words for fans worldwide, Boots.